Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Progress Podcast. I'm Liam, your English teacher and host. Today, we have a very useful and real-life topic. We are talking about being at a restaurant. Many English learners feel nervous when they order food in English, speak to a waiter, or ask for the bill. But do not worry. In this episode, we will practice together in a calm and easy way.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bella. I am very happy to be here with you again. I like this topic because eating at a restaurant is something we all do, but sometimes it is difficult in English. Today, Liam and I will have a natural conversation about going to a restaurant, ordering food, and talking to the waiter. You can listen and learn useful sentences for real life.
Bella, let's imagine that we are going to a restaurant together this evening. It is a nice and quiet place in the city center, and we are meeting after a long day of work. When I arrive at the restaurant, the first thing I usually do is look for the host or the waiter at the entrance. I often say, "Hello, we have a table for two." Or sometimes I say, "Do you have a table available?" I try to speak slowly and clearly because restaurants can be busy and noisy. I also like to smile because it makes the interaction friendly and polite. After that, the waiter usually shows us to our table and gives us the menus.
Yes, that is exactly what I do too. When I go to a restaurant, I sometimes feel a little nervous if it is a new place. I worry about understanding the menu or saying the food names correctly. But I learned that it is okay to ask questions. When the waiter gives me the menu, I like to take a few minutes to read everything carefully. I look at the starters, the main dishes, and the drinks. If I do not understand a word, I ask, "What is this?" or "What do you recommend?" I think waiters are usually very helpful, and they like to explain the dishes to customers.
That is a great strategy, Bella. Asking questions is very useful in restaurants. For example, if I want to know about ingredients, I can say, "What is in this dish?" or "Is it spicy?" Sometimes people have food allergies or special diets, so they need to ask more questions. I might say, "Does this contain nuts?" or "Is this vegetarian?" Restaurants are used to these questions, so learners should not feel shy. After we choose our food, the waiter usually comes back and asks, "Are you ready to order?" That is the moment when we speak clearly and order our meals.
Yes, ordering is the most important part. When the waiter asks if I'm ready, I usually say, "Yes, I would like," and then I say the name of the dish. For example, I might say, "I would like the grilled chicken, please." I also often order a drink at the same time. I can say, "And I would like a glass of water," or "Can I have an orange juice?" I noticed that using "please" and "thank you" is very important in restaurants. It makes the conversation polite and friendly. Even if my English is not perfect, being polite always helps.
You're absolutely right. Politeness is very important in English-speaking cultures, especially in service situations like restaurants. After we order, there is usually a waiting time before the food arrives. During this time, people often talk, relax, or look around at the restaurant. I sometimes watch how the staff work together, and I listen to other conversations. It can be interesting and also useful for language learning. When the waiter brings the food, they usually say something like, "Here is your meal," or "Enjoy your food." At that moment, I always say, "Thank you very much."
I like that moment when the food arrives. It is exciting to see how the dish looks and smells. If everything looks good, I smile and thank the waiter. But sometimes there can be a small problem. For example, maybe the food is too cold or it is not what I ordered. In that situation, I learned that it is best to speak calmly and politely. I can say, "Excuse me, I think this is not what I ordered," or "Excuse me, this is a little cold." Most restaurants want customers to be happy, so they usually fix the problem quickly.
That is a very realistic situation, Bella. Problems can happen anywhere, and knowing how to speak politely is an important skill. Another common moment in restaurants is when the waiter comes back after a few minutes and asks, "Is everything okay?" or "How is your meal?" This is a chance to give feedback. If the food is good, I say, "It's delicious, thank you." If there is a small issue, I can mention it politely. This short conversation is very typical in restaurants, and learners can practice these phrases easily.
Yes, and after some time, we finish eating. Then comes another important step, asking for the bill. In some countries, the waiter brings the bill automatically, but in others, you need to ask. I usually say, "Excuse me, can we have the bill, please?" Or, "Could we get the check, please?" Both are common in English. I also learned that in many restaurants, people leave a tip for the waiter. So after I pay, I often say, "Thank you, everything was very good." It's a nice way to end the restaurant experience.
Exactly. The end of the meal is also part of the social interaction. When we leave, it is polite to say goodbye. I might say, "Thank you, have a nice evening," or "Goodbye." Restaurants are not only about food, they are also about communication and experience. For English learners, going to a restaurant is a great real-life practice. You can read, listen, speak, and understand in one situation. Even small conversations with waiters can build confidence. So I always encourage learners to try using English in restaurants whenever they can.
I agree completely. Restaurants are wonderful places to practice English naturally. You use real language for real needs, not just in a classroom. Even if you make mistakes, people usually understand and appreciate your effort. Over time, ordering food and speaking to staff becomes easy and comfortable. So next time you go to a restaurant, try using English phrases like we discussed today. It can be a fun and practical learning experience, and you also enjoy delicious food at the same time.
Now, let's learn 10 useful words about restaurants. Menu. Definition: a list of food and drinks in a restaurant. Example: I read the menu before I order. Waiter. A person who serves food in a restaurant. Example: the waiter brought our drinks. Order. To ask for food in a restaurant. Example: I want to order pasta. Dish. A prepared food item. Example: this dish is very popular. Bill or check. The paper that shows how much you must pay. Example: can we have the bill, please? Reservation. Booking a table in advance. Example: we have a reservation at 7 p.m. Table. The place where you sit and eat. Example: our table is near the window. Starter. The first small course of a meal. Example: I ordered soup as a starter. Main course. The main dish of a meal. Example: chicken is my main course. Tip. Extra money for good service. Example: we left a tip for the waiter. In this episode, Bella and I talked about going to a restaurant. First, we arrive and ask for a table. Then we get the menu and read it carefully. We ask questions if we do not understand the food. Next, we order food and drinks using polite phrases like "I would like." When the food arrives, we say "thank you." If there is a problem, we speak politely. After eating, we ask for the bill and pay. Finally, we thank the staff and leave. This is a typical restaurant experience in English. Now, let's practice some sentences. Bella, you repeat after me. I would like a table for 2, please.
I would like a table for 2, please.
Can I see the menu, please?
Can I see the menu, please?
I would like the chicken, please.
I would like the chicken, please.
Can I have a glass of water?
Can I have a glass of water?
Everything is delicious, thank you.
Everything is delicious, thank you.
Can we have the bill, please?
Can we have the bill, please?
Thank you for listening to the English Progress Podcast. We hope this episode helps you feel more confident speaking English at restaurants.
Yes, next time you eat out, try these sentences and enjoy practicing English in real life.
Join us in the next episode for another useful everyday topic.
Bye everyone, and keep practicing English every day.
See you next time.